Shalom, shalom. Gonna be a video of Christ's appearance and what he looks like. The Father, Yahweh, Bahashim Shai, and his son, Yahweh Shai. Yeah, hopefully this video is edifying. And alright, so I'm gonna start off with Daniel chapter 6. So as you can see, I've already highlighted it. So this is the appearance of Christ, and his arms and his feet in color to polished brass. So this is the description of Christ's arms and his feet. Polished brass. Okay. So we're gonna get another scripture, precept upon precept, line upon line, here, there. Right, so we're gonna get Revelation 1:14 and 1:15. So his head and his hairs were like wool. Okay, so this is a texture. His head and his hairs were like white wool. Or white like wool. Okay, so that looks something like an afro, I would believe. If you have woolly hair, like for example, a sheep has woolly hair, naturally curly, nappy looking hair. Alright, so we're gonna get the next verse down. And his feet like onto fine brass, as if they had burned in a furnace, and his voice is the sound of many waters. So we're just gonna skip this a little bit. But and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they had burned in a furnace. So we know that when you put most things into a furnace, they instantly turn darker, right? But this is the key bit. As if they had burned in a furnace. So we know if you put something in a furnace, right, and it starts to burn, and it's going to turn black. Everybody knows. You can put like a piece of white paper in there in a furnace. You chuck it in there. As soon as it starts burning, it's gonna turn black on the edges, right? Alright. So that's two scriptures that are proving that he looks like burnt brass. Burnt brass, okay. Alright, let's get Revelation 2 and 18. And unto the angel of the church of, I can't pronounce that, Thyatira, it's like, yeah. These things say to the son of Yahweh, you have his eyes like unto a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass. So this is the third scripture that has said his feet are unto like fine brass. So this is describing his color, his physical appearance. And his feet are like fine brass. So let's look at the color of brush, shall we? This is a yellowish browny, really light brown, like a mixed race sort of looking color. However, the scripture said as if they had burnt in a furnace. So whatever this color is, it needs to be burnt basically. So if we look at the image of Christ, we'd be a lot darker than this brass looking color here. Alright, so yeah. Normally though, when you see the image of Christ, you see this J word, and you see this pale looking person here. But according to scriptures, he would look something a lot similar to this. Hair white as wool, nappy looking hair, mini afro, eyes a flame of fire. Yeah. Alright. So we've got the image of Christ. He would look something a lot closer to this typical black man. Alright. Now, you will know about the transatlantic slave trade, or have a vague, image of it. Whenever you hear slavery, all you see is, let's say transatlantic slave trade. Are you telling me you got no images of this? Okay, okay, there we go. Very dark people. Generalized appearance. We want to translate the images of this. We'll just use. So as you can see, nappy looking hair, fine brass looking texture skin. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna go back to Deuteronomy 28 and 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. Alright, so if you read Exodus, you'd know that the Israelites, God's chosen people, were in captivity in Egypt. Right, so the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way of I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondwoman, and no man shall buy you. Wow. That's very interesting. So from what we've read previously, a bunch of dark skinned looking people were sold onto their enemies. Their enemies. Okay. So this is Egypt, somewhere around not too far from West Africa, say. So a bunch of dark skinned looking people were sold onto their enemies. Interesting. Alright, we're gonna get Exodus 20 and 2. I am thy Lord, thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. So Egypt is bondage. This is what the scripture is saying. Egypt out of the house of bondage. So Egypt means bondage. So there was a physical Egypt and a spiritual Egypt. So if the Father puts Israelites in captivity, they're still in Egypt, but not the physical Egypt. The physical Egypt is when they were in bondage were long, even though they're still scattered throughout the earth, so there's still some Israelites there. However, nowadays they're scattered everywhere, the four corners of the earth, as the scriptures say. So what I'm getting from this is a bunch of dark skinned, brass looking people, very, very dark skin looking people, because the scripture says burn in the furnace once again, were sold onto their enemies. So if you put two and two together, this sounds like the slave trade. Only one nation throughout the history of time as a collective has gone into slavery, and everyone knows this to be so-called Negroes or whatever, all those people, West Africans, Caribbeans, and so on and so forth. So I would suggest, if anyone wants more help with this, I would definitely suggest reading Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 28, and you could see the curses, and it will help you further to identify who these people are, even though I've basically just given it away. And yeah, that's all I want. Thank you for listening. It's just a very short video. Hope someone, build a picture of what Christ looks like and the type of people that were sold for bondwoman and bondman. So yeah, hope this helped, and